What up, Raff leaders? Welcome back to my channel. This, as you've seen before, Rupert Craig Highway looking east. That's the Atlantic Ocean. This is the Russian embassy at the northeastern edge of, you guessed it, Kitty. We're back in Kitty. We're going to look at Public Road Kitty today. This is the northeastern edge of Kitty, and this is the intersection of Lamaha Street, so that street heading straight south, that's Lamaha Street, and this is Rupert Craig Highway. So we're going to go down Public Road and see what has changed in Kitty, Public Road Kitty in Georgetown, Guyana. Now Public Road Kitty is the main route into Georgetown, from the east coast, that is Rupert Craig Highway. And for that reason it's kind of dangerous because it's busy with traffic all the time. But we'll take a chance and see if we can get down Public Road Kitty without getting into any trouble. Now we've seen this edge of Sobrianville, so this is the boundary between Sobrianville and Kitty. Seen this building before where someone built a tower, circular tower, and we've seen this other building which is a high-rise condominium, and the Russian embassy on the other side. Right, the Russian embassy on the other side. But what's happening here in Public Road Kitty? As you come off the Rupert Craig Highway, there are a couple of blind turns, and I remember almost running off the road back in the 1990s, coming around this turn too fast. So I'm going to assume that people still make that same mistake. There are a couple of blind turns to get onto the Public Road Kitty, and you want to be very careful with them if you're driving. This is that new condominium. I think I showed this last time we were looking at Sobrianville. That's the neighborhood, the division of Sobrianville. And these are the new residential buildings being constructed in Sobrianville at the boundary with Kitty. And this is that blind turn onto Public Road Kitty. Right, so this is what is being constructed. Now a lot of the homes in Sobrianville are now being rented out to diplomats. So a lot of the expatriates now live in Sobrianville. But Kitty, which is where we're heading now, this is Public Road Kitty, coming off of Rupert Craig Highway. Around this blind turn takes you into Public Road Kitty. And this is what is here now. It's a residential building in Kitty. See, that's a residential building. Here is Public Road. On the other side there is the Russian embassy. Russian embassy was built in the 1990s and now is a tropical oasis in the city. Behind all of that, here is a vacant lot. I don't remember what was here before. There was a building here, but somehow it has been removed, and now there's a vacant lot. You can bet that somebody's going to putting up another building in this location soon. This is Public Road Kitty. I think this is the street we encountered yesterday and I couldn't remember the name of. I still don't know the name of this street. all these buildings are new in Kitty. So these buildings were constructed in the last decade or so. In the last decade. This street, I remember coming to the end of William Street yesterday. We encountered this street. Someone said it's Pear Street. You can look that up on Google Maps. Tell me what the name of that street is. But this is Public Road, Kitty. This house has been here for at least, what, 50 years? This is one of the original houses on Public Road. It's a wooden house. Didn't undergo that recent development. But this is Public Road, Kitty in 2023. That's the Seventh-day Adventist Church. It's looking back at Public Road, Kitty, coming around that bend, that blind turn, coming off of Rupert Craig Highway. That's Seventh-day Adventist Church here on Public Road, Kitty. That's still here. That's been around for a while too. And this is another home from the 1960s. You can see the colonial architecture here. You can see the old colonial architecture, but behind it, that is someone's idea of a tropical hotel in the background there. And other buildings going up in Public Road. That is other renovations to these colonial buildings. So these were original colonial buildings here. These original colonial buildings. Some of them are still here in Public Road, Kitty. Right? And then renovations in the 1980s converted these buildings from wooden buildings to concrete. And in the 1990s, 2000s, the mid-2000s, they started looking more and more like buildings you find in Canada and the US, the American South, because of all the migrants coming back from where they had lived. Right, this is Public Road, Kitty. It's one of the busiest streets actually, because of it's coming off of the east coast. Right, this is traffic coming into Georgetown from the east coast. And this is what you'd look at when you enter Georgetown from the east coast. It's first your first encounter with the city of Georgetown. That's the De Leon Hotel, De Leon Suites, Palace. Here as we approach Queen Street. Right, that's the hotel here on Public Road, Kitty. Morning. Morning. That's the Guyana gas station on the corner of Queen Street and Public Road, Kitty. We've seen this in the last video where we looked at Kitty. That is Queen Street, Kitty. That's looking back. That's some construction going on in Kitty, that new building we saw on Queen Street. And this is Public Road. Alright, Queen Street. Recently that's Queen Street. Price of gas here. That's Queen Street and Kitty. We've looked at that before in the previous video. Go take a look at that video to see. Here is some renovation. Recent renovation. on Public Road Kitty against houses that are still unrenovated. But as you can imagine, these homes are close to the Atlantic Ocean, and now it's now prime real estate because, of course, everybody wants to be in Georgetown, and lots of money flowing into the city. That's Greenbow. Right, this is a new restaurant in Georgetown. See them online, I think they're on Facebook. And these are the colonial, well, previously that's 1960s homes, renovated in the 1980s to look like this, and 1990s to look like that. That is taller because, of course, more space. And converted to concrete homes because the wooden houses in Georgetown are always susceptible to termites and the weather, dry rot and so on. So the renovation in the 1980s saw a lot of these wooden homes being converted into concrete structures, and in the 1990s they became bigger, taller homes. 1990s and 2000s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, they started to look like North American architecture, the American South and Ontario, homes in Ontario, because that's where people they migrated from. So guys, that's Public Road Kitty. The north end of Kitty. This is one of the oldest neighborhoods, residential, middle-class neighborhoods in Georgetown, and close at this point to the Atlantic Ocean. Therefore, always fresh air coming in from the, fresh breeze coming in from the Atlantic Ocean. Right, as always, there is some humidity all year, but if you live in this section of the city, there's always onshore winds coming in from the Atlantic Ocean, a breeze, and because of its proximity to the ocean, prime real estate. Here at the intersection with Blissingen Road, to approach Blissingen Road and Public Road Kitty. At this intersection, I think there used to be a monument to Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. Yep, I think it's still there. We'll see it in a sec. Alright, this is the Kitty seawall. Right at the edge of Kitty now, the northwestern corner of Kitty. This is the bust of the former president Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. Behind that is the Guyana Bible College. I don't know what this place is used for, but I think it's one of the party's official. So that's Public Road Kitty and Blissingen Road. In Kitty, this is the new hotel next to the Guyana Bible College. There's this new hotel. What is it called? I can't remember the name of this hotel, but something about Ocean Spray. Yes, this is the Ocean Spray Hotel. It's been here for about a decade now, I think. The Ocean Spray Hotel at the edge of Kitty, where you meet Blissingen Road and the seawall. So that's it, guys. That's Public Road Kitty. That's the One Guyana monument that was built, I think, about 6 months ago. There was a spate of monuments being constructed, and that was one that was constructed here about 6 months ago in Georgetown. Campi in Ghana. Right, that's the military base in the city of Georgetown on Blissingen Road. So that's what's up, guys. That's Public Road Kitty at Blissingen Road, and all that has changed in the last, what, decade. And so we're going to see eventually how it changes in future, because with the rapid growth and expansion of the economy, I expect a lot more changes to happen in Georgetown in the coming months. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Public Road Kitty. If you've lived in Public Road Kitty, if you've lived in Kitty before and you're familiar with all these streets and neighborhoods, share with us in the comments below what has changed and what is new. Let people know what's happening here in Georgetown, Guyana. Later!